Selamat sejahtera, Miss Maria. This time we will be talking about the freedom of speech in Malaysia.
So stand up, everybody come on, stand up. Keep on going, we won't stop. Show me the power,
Freedom of speech in Malaysia is such a complex issue with a long history. Malaysia has a constitutional monarchy system, with the Constitution of Malaysia providing for freedom of speech and expression under Article 10. However, the exercise of this right is subject to limitations, including national security, some public orders, and morality. In practice, the government of Malaysia has been criticized for limiting freedom of speech and expression through various means, such as the Sedition Acts, the Official Secret Acts, and the Communication Multimedia Acts. These laws has been used to prosecute individuals who express dissenting opinions, including journalists, politicians, and some social activities. In recent years, there has been some positive development in Malaysia's approach to freedom of speech. In 2018, the government repealed the controversial Anti-Fake News Act, which had been widely criticized for its potential to be used to certify dissent. Additionally, the government has made some efforts to address the issue of hate speech and misinformation, including the establishment of National Centre for Governance, Integrity and Anti-Corruption to combat fake news. Overall, the situation regarding freedom of speech in Malaysia still remains complex. It's still complicated, with the government balancing the needs to maintain social stability with the desire to protect the rights of its citizens to express their opinions freely.
Hi, I'm Ikmal, and so for today, I'm going to be continuing with the factors of what affects the freedom of speech. So first off, as we all know that active participation of citizens. Why is that? Every election and referendums are a good opportunity for the citizens to shape the society, in which they can manage in their own way to portray their good values, to get to give out the disadvantage if you elect this group, and if you will get a lot of advantages if you select this group. So basically, that's where freedom of speech goes, to let people open their eyes about what they are gonna elect during the election. So this allows them to protest. At the same time, it is an unpopular decision because it causes a lot of strike and also a lot of fights along the election when we use protests around our election campaign. So basically, that's the factor. And the next is necessary for change and innovation. So what is that? We all want society to become a better place for everyone, but for that to happen, society needs to actually encourage the foster freedom of expression. So the authorization government who suppress criticism and withhold public interest in information, denies citizens the right to make informed decisions and take action about important social issues. So basically, what is going to happen is they are currently being at stake to decrease the amount of people who are trying to give out their voices out there. But that's a good thing. But for now, it makes it, there's pros and cons to every section in the way. So basically, to me, freedom of speech is an important aspect in every individual. So but at a certain point of time, freedom of speech is not particularly the important thing for an individual, because we have to see whether it's factual or logical to give a statement to the authority or to give out their own opinions. Okay, they're not wrong, but there's a situation where you can and you can't. So that's where they need to understand that as freedom of speech is important to individual, but you have to be at a certain point of time it can be used. Alright, so that's the how I would say the factors that affects this freedom of speech to an individual. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to Madam. So my name is Aisyah binti Zainabidin. So I'm taking Bachelor in Human Capital Management. So I'm from MSUC Seremban. So for my part is I want to talk about factor. Okay, for the first is it's better for the trust to enable citizens to make meaningful decision about how they want to society to function. They need access to trustful and accurate information about a wide variety of topics. This can only happen if people feel safe vocalizing the issue effective their communities. Safeguarding about freedom of speech encourage people to speak out, which make it easier to tackle systematic issue from the inside. This deter people from abusing their power, which helps everyone in the long run.
Hello and good morning, madam. My name is Putri Nuriman from MLC Seremban. So next, I'm going to talk about it make everyone more accountable. Okay, so citizens have the opportunity to hold their politician accountable during election. They need to know how well a political party has performed while in power and whether or not they have kept their election promise in order to pick who to vote for. Media outlet and civil society organization contribute to the public impression of how well the government is performing by reporting on society's most important social issue. This is beneficial only if they are allowed to report on stories that are critical of the government honestly. Next was promote equal treatment of minority. Everyone should be treated equality and fairly in democratic society. In contrast, minority groups that are underrepresented in government are frequently ignored and their ideas are given less weight than those of the main social group. Individuals can win over a large portion of the public to their cause by organization, campaign and open discuss the problem that affect their community. This improves their capacity to shape public opinion and stop violation of human rights. So that's all from me.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum and very good evening to Miss Maria. So my name is Nurul Izzati binti Muhammad Syahran and I'm from MSUC Seremban. So for the first effect of free speech is threatening peace, which is street demonstration interfere with daily life activities, and when this happens, ordinary people will suffer. So many have to bear pain and loss as a result of their irresponsible action. For example, the clean and fair elections coalition Bersih that took place not long ago caused a lot of disruption and threatened the peace of the people and the country. So the buildings were burned, shops were broken into by thieves, and many innocent individuals were attacked. So in fact, businesses are also closed, properties are vandalized, and people are injured, just so that a few politicians can promote their agenda.
Hi Miss, my name is Lahmame and I'm from MLC Seremban. This one I'll be talking about the effect. So the effect we start with the disruption of economic growth. The disruption of economic growth can affect of being too independent in environment, can also interfere with the growth of our country's economy. And what can be from the naked eyes is certain that we do not see what is relevant, but without us realizing the consequences of this freedom, which brings a lot of consequences and chaos in this country, making foreign tourists feel that our country is not safe, and it will simultaneously reduce the rate of tourists coming to Malaysia and to some extent to the economist and economic sources are also written. According to the words of the Pertubuhan Pribumi Perkasa Malaysia, Dato' Ibrahim Ali in Utasa Online on 9 December 2012 said that the release of the anti-Allah film Innocence of Muslims is proof of how the concept of expressing freedom of expression does not help to reach democracy but rather to destroy soul and life. And this also clearly shows that the right to freedom of expression, if misused, will bring harm from various angles. So we as practitioners should think more sensibly and take thoughtful action before voicing out something.
Hello Miss, I am Chao Shuni from MLC Seremban. One of the effects of freedom of speech is fight over. Irrational and reckless freedom of speech can lead to racial conflicts. This was clearly demonstrated by the events of 30 May 1969, which were racial grievances against other races in Malaysia. Impolite remarks can obviously lead to agreements.
Hi, good day to Miss and my fellow friends. I'm Marvina Muthukumaran from program BHCM and from Seremban branch, and I would like to explain about langkah-langkah mengatasi isu budaya kebendaan kaum Melayu, and I would like to explain in Malay. First of all, kerajaan perlu memperbaiki dasar pendidikan negara untuk membangunkan ekonomi perkauman antara pelbagai etnik. Kedua, mengadakan aktiviti sukan atau aktiviti rakan tetangga untuk mengeratkan hubungan antara pelbagai etnik. Ketiga, perkongsian kuasa politik di mana perkongsian kuasa amat perlu dijaga dan dilaksanakan dengan adil bagi mengelakkan perebutan kuasa dan perpecahan. Itu sahaja daripada saya. Thank you.
The next part is langkah-langkah untuk mengatasi masalah kebebasan bercakap di Malaysia. Okay, the first point is encourage media diversity. In Malaysia, media ownership is heavily concentrated in few ends of companies. The concentration limits the diversity of the voices and the perspectivities in the media. Malaysia should encourage media diversity by providing intensive for few media outlets and limiting the concentration of the media ownership. The second point is promote digital rights. The internet is an essential tool for the freedom of the speech, but it's also a space where the governments can restrict free expression. Malaysia should promote digital rights by ensuring that the internet access is affordable and there is no restriction on to access the information.